Hey everyone, hi, welcome back to my channel. So recently I have been seeing a whole bunch of videos going up about summer reading in a bunch of different ways. I've seen people do summer TBRs, some people are participating in summer reading events for adults. I have seen the Big Book Summer, which is reading books more than 400 pages. There is the Summer of Snopes by William Faulkner, which is an event going on here on YouTube where a bunch of people are going to be reading 3 Faulkner books over the course of June, July, and August. We have GarbAugust coming up where we're celebrating trash. Maybe not celebrating, we're more like diving into the idea of trash in a very adventuresome way. That's me. And I even have seen some fake crates from particularly Kelly from Books I'm Not Reading. I had a little tickle in my throat. Okay, so Kelly from Books I'm Not Reading, she did a whole video about oceans of possibilities in which she talked about putting together a crate, like a subscription box, a fake one, for all of her viewers, so all of us. And she was talking through like what she would put in it if the theme was summer and oceans of possibilities. So going off of that, I kind of was like, well, I want to do one. I want to do a video in which I talk about a theme and there's summer and it's all kind of goes together. And so my theme is summer in the Bayou. This is my theme, okay? You all got quite the preamble today. Sorry, not sorry. This is where I'm at. Okay, so what are we doing today? What are you going to get in this video? So what I'm going to show you first are books that I've gathered up around my house that I would consider Southern books. Very Southern Gothic, or just like quintessential, words are difficult today, quintessential Southern reading. And so that'll be the first part of the video. The second part of the video is going to be very much summer themed Southern items. Things that I associate with my summers here in the South. If you didn't know, I live in the deep South. Quite possibly the deepest part of the deepest South that you could possibly get. Basically, the book Where the Crawdad Sings by Delia Owens, she wrote about my area. That is where I live, y'all. I can access that space in like 45 minutes, okay? And so yes, I very much live in the deep South, and I thought I would show you what I associate with a Southern summer. I'm originally a Californian, so I moved from the Pacific coast to the Atlantic coast, and I've been here for about 12 years. I know how long I've been here. I think I've been here 12 years, and so I do have an opinion and something to say about the South. And I have a bunch of items that I either associate with Southern summers or just my personal summers. But you'll see. And so the idea behind this, this long preamble, y'all, I'm so sorry. The idea behind this long preamble is that if I had a huge box and I was going to send you a little piece of my Southern summer, and I was going to send it to you personally from the Swearingen to you who is watching, this is what you would receive in your box. And it is incredibly generous, okay? So I hope you will grab a cup of tea. I hope you will kind of cozy in and we can just jump right in, okay? Okay, so as promised, I am going to do the books first. Okay, so when I think about Southern literature, I think of the quintessential writer of Southern literature, and I actually don't care for this writer. That's okay. It's okay. I am working on my relationship with him. I read my first book by this author last summer, and it was the worst book that I read. However, I didn't start in a very good spot. Even a good friend of mine was like, oh, Shelley, that book is rough. And I was like, I know. I experienced it. Okay, so I'm talking about William Faulkner, and his book Sanctuary is what I read last year, and I didn't like it. But I will leave a link down below as to why I don't like it. But, here's the deal. I own a lot of William Faulkner books. Probably because my husband is interested in Southern Gothic literature, and a lot of this is his collection. But I have to include William Faulkner if I'm going to include a video about Southern Gothic lit. Okay, so here we have Absalom by William Faulkner. We also have As I Lay Dying in perfect unread condition. Maybe it'll stay that way. And we have The Sound and the Fury in this really cool, in this modern library edition. Anyhow, if you want to know more about my relationship to William Faulkner, I'll leave links down below to my Sanctuary review and also to my best and worst of 2021 video in which I discuss Sanctuary slightly. Okay, moving off the William Faulkner train, and we're going to move on to what I consider probably my favorite piece of Southern literature, and it's to no surprise, but it would be To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I have read this. I love this book. It is exploring race relations in a very, very small town in Alabama, in Macomb County, which is a fictional county that Harper Lee made up. Anyways, and it is just, it's just an incredible book and very thought-provoking. It talks about race relations and justice and childhood and growing up and outsiders, and oh gracious, it's a great one. And then the next book that follows actually goes with To Kill a Mockingbird, and I have not read this, and it is The Mockingbird Next Door. And this is a book written with Harper Lee, I think about her life, and it is penned by Marja Mills, and this copy in particular is signed by Marja Mills. So not by Harper Lee, but by Marja Mills. I have not read it, but, you know, had to include it in my books about Southern Gothic lit. Okay, the next book I have actually, I think on my 22 classics for 2022, and I have yet to pick it up, but it is Flannery O'Connor's collection of short stories, which are, I think, for me as a reader, when I think about Southern Gothic lit, with that sort of the tropes of exploring the grotesque and diving into sort of the deeper and darker sides of humanity. This is a terrible explanation of what Southern Gothic is. However, when I think about Southern Gothic literature, I think of Flannery O'Connor, because she is like the queen of Southern Gothic-ness in my mind. If you've read any of her stories, will you let me know and tell me which ones you like? I've read several. I think my favorite is Everything That Rises Must Converge, but there are several that I like. I haven't finished this, and actually haven't picked it up this year, so this is my gentle reminder to myself that this is on my 22 classics for 2022, and I ought to maybe spend some time with it. Okay, and the last book is the one that I'm actually most interested in reading. I've owned it for years and years and years and years, and it was recommended to me from a local who's also a librarian, and he tended to recommend this book to people who were interested in Southern lit and wanted a compelling story. And that is Ron Rash's Serena, which tells the story, I think, of a very, very unlikable female character, and I know it's set in the South. Anyhow, I think, like, if I were to call out myself for TBR veterans, books that have sat on my shelves for way too long, this is one of them. This is just one that, like, I have owned for like 8 or 9 years. I have wanted to read it. I've never had like a poor relationship with me and this book. I just have never picked it up. So maybe, again, this is my gentle reminder that I ought to spend some time reading the books that I own. And since I'm feeling inspired by my Bayou summer, this book might make it into my summer reading. We have now finished my collection of Southern Gothic literature. So we're going to move on to other things, but this is also a book, but it's not what I would consider at the same level. It's not telling a narrative. It is a book of photography, and it is by the photographer Clarence John Laughlin, and it is called The Ghosts of the Mississippi. And so if I were to send you a care package of the quintessential South, this book would be in it, because it definitely has some imagery that is very Southern Gothic, that is very provocative, and that is just absolutely gorgeous. And it's one that I enjoy, and that really just makes me feel like I am in the deep south whenever I see the imagery. Though Laughlin's photography is that of Louisiana and it's the ghosts of the Mississippi, and it's definitely not exactly my area. I'm in South Carolina. The overlap is very familiar, and so some of the images I feel, and especially the ones that I highlighted, are ones that I feel could most definitely could have been taken here, could have been taken in South Carolina, or they show images, or they convey an image of the South that I definitely am associate with. You know, like I see that image and I'm like, that is the South. So I tried to highlight images that showed that. In Kelly's video, she mentioned that every fake crate, every kind of themed box that she sent out must have a mascot. And I completely agree. And so our mascot is right here. Oh, so this is my mascot. And this is my kid's toy, but then I was like, that actually really works because we do get alligators here. I know it sounds like I'm like I live in some sort of fantastical area. I have spotted alligators at public parks, but usually they're just sunbathing. It says, it is posted everywhere. If there are alligators in the water, it says, do not, beware, there could be alligators here. Please don't feed anything. Do not swim in the water. This is not playing water. This is like you could get attacked by an alligator. No joke. Seriously. So anyways, I thought this was very apt for, as a mascot for, if I were to send out a box about the Bayou summer, or with the theme of the Bayou summer. And yeah, I thought he was really cute. Sticking with imagery, I would love to send out, again, this box would be huge, y'all, if I really actually mailed it. But I think that like imagery is really cool, and of different parts of the state. So again, this is not quite Bayou-y, but you're getting, it's cool, all right? And it's southern, and it's going to show the view of Castle Pinckney, and it's a piece of artwork that I chose, and I really, really like it. So yeah, here we go. I also have one that's unframed, another kind of piece of artwork by the same artist, and it is of the bombardment of Fort Sumter. So again, my area, maybe not super Bayou-y, but still southern, okay, you guys? Still southern. You can actually probably see this a bit better because there's no glare, which is why I wanted to show it, but it's a bit more delicate than the first picture I showed because this one doesn't have a frame. But I love it, and it sits often in the back. It sits at the bottom shelf of my videos often. Okay, so we've gotten to the part of the video that I'm really excited to share, and that is about Southern fashion, Southern style. So I have some examples, but let me tell you. So I absolutely love fashion, and I love dressing oneself, the adornment, the whole thing. It's a thing for me, and I often don't share my love for it here on BookTube. But if I'm going to make a video about the South, I have to include some fashionable items. So when I moved here, I realized that there is a kind of uniform down here, especially for formal events like graduations or end of the year stuff. And so as a teacher, I noticed this trend among young women, often my students and their mothers, that whenever there was a big event coming out, these girls would wear these very, very strongly printed dresses, kind of like the ones that I'm showing and the ones that I'm wearing. And I learned that these are called Lily Pulitzer dresses. Now, Lily Pulitzer, she had her day. she had her moment. She is a New York socialite who ended up settling down in Palm Beach, Florida, and from there she definitely has a very unique design that is sort of not sort of, it's extremely preppy. It's very, very preppy. It's a little bit 1960s inspired, and it's also evocative of Palm Beach, Florida. Okay, so that's the idea. And I realized that often Southern women have taken on this print and this dress, this kind of, this brand as like a formality. It is what people use when they want to celebrate, and especially if it's like a buttoned up type of event. So I picked up on it, and I fell hard for Lilly Pulitzer dresses, okay? Like, I was like, this is my thing, I'm going to do it. And so if you were going to get a box from me, you would get something with this print on it, because I love it so much. And again, I have some examples. I'm like, I'll show you all. See, I have this, like, it's just so pretty, you all. As much as I could be preppy, as much as I could be quite hoity-toity, there's also a side of me that's just like, I can't be bothered today, okay? I can't be bothered. And on my can't be bothered days, I would also throw this into the box I was sending to you personally. You would also get a hat of a baseball cap of Charleston. Yay! Should I keep this on for the rest of the video? Maybe. Okay, you have something to wear, you have something to read, you have some art, you have a mascot. Now let's fill the house up with sound, you all. This is where I kind of was like, this is more like Shelley summer, the summer music that I like versus Southern music. I am not super into country music, and I haven't really explored the sounds of the South in that way. And so this is the soundtrack of my summer often. So we have Bruno Mars, 24 Karat Magic. Oh my gosh, I love this album so much. You know, I mean, I can't even express, okay? I love this album from start to finish. It's not appropriate for children, y'all. Just letting you know, there are some songs that are quite saucy, but this is just a lot of fun, and I love this album, and it screams summer for me. Okay, then we have some Grateful Dead, because the Grateful Dead definitely feels like we're having a psychedelic summer, y'all, and it goes with my, like, I feel like they understood what Lilly Pulitzer was going for with this print, and they were just doing it beforehand, and probably, you know, I don't know how much they are there, but I do, you know, the Grateful Dead in their minds, but I do love their music, okay? Like, Truckin', that's a great song. Okay, and the last one is going to be How Great Thou Art by Elvis Presley. I love Elvis Presley's, his gospel music. I just find his voice smooth as honey, and when he sings gospel music, I feel like amazing, y'all. I wanted to come up with a better word than that, but I couldn't in the moment. But this is just, I mean, it's wonderful. I love it. The lights, my lights, y'all. Okay, so, and then, oh, but the last thing, y'all have everything you need now except for a snack. And so here's the snack that I would mail to you. Y'all ready? Mail you a watermelon because last year I grew watermelons in my yard, and it was a lot of fun. I basically had to do nothing. They grew on their own, and yeah, it was just a great amount of fun. And it was really cool to have a yard full of watermelon that I grew myself last summer. So yeah, okay, well, that is a lot of stuff in your face. Create a lot of things to explore, so I hope you enjoyed. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Tell me your Southern lit stuff. I want to know anything Southern summer. What are you doing for summer reading? Do you have Southern books? Do you have favorite Southern books? I want to know it all. I feel like I shared a lot, you guys. So, you know, come join the party, share in the comments below. I want to know. And yeah, that's it for me. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and letting me be like a super nerd. I really appreciate it. And just for watching this video and all of that. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys. derailed, so sorry, I'm back. Okay, so Serena tells the story of a, wait, I already said that. Tells the story of an unlikable female.
Laughlin or Lachlan.
It's so pretty. Ah! We do we get alligators or crocodiles? I don't even remember. Crocodiles or alligators in South Carolina?
According to South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, SC, Gov, the American alligator is the only crocodilian native to South Carolina.
Huh?